10th of November 1764 in the Sumter District, South Carolina, pudding swamp on the waters of the Black River. He is the son of Major William Fullwood Sr., who is also a Revolutionary War patriot, and Sarah Miles. William Fullwood entered the military service at the age of 17 in the spring of 1780. He fought with General Francis Marion's troops, who was also known as the Swamp Fox. His second and third tour was also under General Marion. He was appointed quartermaster of Colonel Richardson's regiment. I can't help but wonder if his son Samuel Marion was not named after his old commander. By 1792, he was a Methodist minister and had joined the conference and was in Burke County. He probably rode the circuit line. In December 1795, he buys 100 acres in Burke County. And the 6th of April, 1797, in Washington, Virginia, he marries Elizabeth Banning, the daughter of Benoni Banning, another Revolutionary War patriot. They eventually settled in Patty's Creek. They had 7 children. He passes his life 22nd of October, 1851. There are 2 things that stand out about Father Fullwood as he was known. He loved the Lord and he preached at Obeth Church. It was said that at his last sermon, hundreds dedicated their lives to Christ. The second thing is what he wrote concerning his military services. I was trying to guard the tree of liberty, which had been planted by some of the master spirits of this highly favored country. Now, my son Patrick Kaiser and their 4th great-grandson will tell you about Elizabeth Banning, wife of William Fullwood.
Banning, the wife of Reverend William Fullwood, is the daughter of Benoni Banning. Benoni Banning, my 5th great-grandfather, was born June 26, 1744 in Talbot, Maryland, and left this life the 25th of February, 1827 in McDowell County, North Carolina. He is buried in the old Ebenezer Church Cemetery. He also was a Revolutionary War patriot. He was living in Washington County, Virginia, and came down with Colonel William Campbell's Virginia men to fight at the Battle of Kings Mountain. During the charge, he was wounded by a bayonet. I would like to now read from Benoni Banning's Bible. Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear okay? I'll try to talk in my big outdoor voice. It is my pleasure to represent my family to honor my 4th times great-grandfather, Reverend John Gibbs. My thanks to the Quaker Meadows DAR for your work and dedication in bringing us together today. Special thanks to Andrea Bennett Kaiser for her caring heart and dedication to this mission. Thanks to all the workers who prepared this sacred site through tree cutting and countless hours of cleanup efforts, including Andrea, Janie Elms Matthews, and Susan Hauk, the Lake James State Park staff, and so many, many more. My name is Marilyn Gibbs Alger, and my 4 times great-grandfather, John Gibbs, was born in Burke County, North Carolina in 1755. John was a Methodist minister and farmer, and he served as a minister at Obeth Methodist Church. John Gibbs and Rebecca Conley married on October 10th, 1776. So today we are celebrating their 245th wedding anniversary. Their union lasted over 70 years. John and Rebecca had 11 children, 10 sons, and 1 daughter. The couple died within 10 days of each other in January of 1847. John at the age of 91 and Rebecca at 90. And they are buried right next to each other. Reverend John was a Revolutionary War veteran, enlisting as a private in the North Carolina militia. During the war, he served 3 months under Captain Clark and was at the Battle of Cowpens, South Carolina, the turning point of the war in the South and the reconquest of South Carolina from the British. He also served 3 months under Captain John Conley by order of Colonel McDowell at a fort located at the headwaters of the Catawba River in North Carolina in 1781. Captain Conley was the brother-in-law of John Gibbs, the brother of John's wife, Rebecca. On July 7, 1778, John was granted 200 acres of land just north of the Catawba River in Burke County. John was allowed a pension on an application executed July 15, 1844, while a resident of Burke County at age 89. What I read about it said that John didn't take his pension earlier because he didn't feel he needed the money, but at age 89, he determined it was time to take his pension, which was $20 a year. So he received his pension from age 89 until 91 when he passed away. Prior to 1825, John gave land for the Nebo Meeting House, although he didn't actually deed it until 1844. He had land on Shadrack Creek in the present Nebo area just west of Bridgewater. From John and Rebecca's 11 children came 81 grandchildren, 52 grandsons, and 30 granddaughters. During the Civil War, of those 52 grandsons, some were too old and some were too young to serve. So of those 52 grandsons, 23 served in the military. Of the 23 that served, 17 survived the war and returned home to North Carolina. Some dealing with short-term injuries, and others, according to pension records, had serious physical disabilities. Some would have come home ill to exposure to disease and lack of adequate food supply. All would have come home dealing with the emotional impact of war and loss, and continued on to provide and help raise their families. 4 generations of my Gibbs line lived in North Carolina. So when I come here to visit, I feel very much at home in your home. Many of the Gibbs descendants remained in North Carolina, and some moved to Georgia, Alabama, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Nebraska, and Iowa, where I live. You are all remembered. I am blessed to be here today to honor Reverend John Gibbs for his service to our country, his community, and his family. And I'd like to end with just a short, brief Methodist prayer. God, may our lives be enriched by the good examples and legacies of those whom we remember today. May our lives be found worthy by you. We too will be embraced by your grace and led into your joyous presence. Until that day, enable us to work for your kingdom here on earth and make a difference in the world. Amen.
I feel that Denise Bishop and I kind of brought him into the light. He married Anna Hughes, who's buried here beside him, in Stokes County on January 1st, New Year's Day, 1792. They didn't move to Burke County until sometime after in the 1930 census. Lawrence Unger entered Revolutionary service on Christmas Day, 1779 in Salisbury, which is Rowan County, for a 3-month tour of duty. He was in Captain Graham's company of Colonel William Lytle's regiment and was listed as a private. They marched to South Carolina, joining the army of General Benjamin Lincoln. He was discharged on March 27, 1780, prior to the surrender at Charleston. But in April of 1780, he volunteered again and was placed in Captain Locke's company of Colonel Francis Locke's Rowan regiment. They marched back to South Carolina, joining General Horatio Gates at Camden. As you know, the Army was badly beaten in this battle, and the men were told to get home the best they could. Unger returned to Rowan County, and then he started gathering provisions for the Army. Well, he was drafted for a 3rd tour, but the war ended before he finished it. He applied for his Revolutionary War pension in Burke County in 1833 at age 76. He got $59.45 per year. Unfortunately, he didn't quite die on the holiday. He missed Valentine's Day by 1 day. Now, I wanted to add a couple more things about Obeth Methodist Church Cemetery. One other good thing that came out of this is a local Boy Scout, Rico Johnston, chose to grid map this cemetery for the state archives. And he spent several weeks up here laying out his grid, trying to read these inscriptions and digging up some stones that were hidden. So I want to say a big thank you to Rico for that. I really look forward to seeing the finished product. The second thing is a good thing in the future. If you notice back here in the eastern end, there are so many field stones with orange flags. According to descendants around here, these are the enslaved people of some of the people who lie in this part of the cemetery. The good news is Historic Burke Foundation in Morganton has plans to commemorate these people with a monument back in the cemetery, and we'll let you know more about that when it happens. Thank you.